What's going on, guys? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how do you actually get a job here in the oil field? How do you actually get to the position where you are interested in what's going on out here? You guys hear about the opportunity, you guys want to make extra money and extra bucks, but you have no idea how to get your foot in the door. You might have, looked up some companies online, you might have pushed the payment a little bit and called some companies to get in the water hauling game. And unfortunately, you keep hearing the same exact thing. One second. Hello? So if I was in a position where I knew no one, what would I do? So, obviously we're talking about the water hauling game. This is the industry that you guys want to be a part of. There's not one there's not one sector of the oil field or the trucking market here in the Bakken that you guys can make more money in than water hauling. Bottom line. So that's the goal right there. So let's say I was an owner operator. A lot of you guys, you guys don't really know what you need. So it's very difficult to truly like push the pavement and actually get your foot in the door when you don't even have everything you need. When it comes to, your truck, the type of truck you need and the equipment you need in the truck and then the trailer and then the hoses and the fittings and the equipment and all the certifications and all the relationship that you have to build and all the insurances that you have to have. There's quite a bit of a foundation and a structure that you guys need in order to be even applicable to for these water hauling companies to actually, want you. Because if you call them as an owner operator and say, hey, yeah, I got a truck, but what else do I need? That's obviously right there. That's a red flag. They're just gonna boom. Sorry, sir. You got to figure some shit out. But let's say you're an owner operator. You have all the things that you need, and like you're 100% ready to go. I would do this. All right, I would get a list of all the companies in the Bakken or whatever oil field you're trying to be a part of, and I'm talking about like every single trucking sector there is, because the goal here, eventually we want to become owner operators, but the goal here is to first just literally just get out here and start making money, and from there you could then figure things out. So I would call all the water hauling companies, all the sand hauling companies, all the flatbed companies, all the belly dump companies, all the side dump companies, and I'd find out if they're taking on owner operators. And from there, you have your conversation, they send you over the paperwork that you need, you send back the paperwork, and then, if you call every single one of these companies, someone should be able to take you on. And even if you're trying to be a water hauler and you go on sand, it's no big deal because you're running sand, you're in the field, you're running around, you're going to the fracks, and then you see what's going on in the market. You see, okay, cool, this company's on this frac site. It looks like I see a lot of trucks going for this company, so let me try to give them a call. I didn't see them online, so let me walk over to that driver over there. Let me get the dispatcher's number. Let me get the truck boss's number. Let me get the op manager's number. And I just walk up to the trucker. Hey, what's going on, man? I've been hauling sand for quite some time, but I'm trying to get in the water hauling game. Is there any way that you could give me maybe your dispatcher's number or like I said, all these guys' contact info. A lot of the time, they're not going to say no, they're not going to gatekeep. And you can also ask, hey, do you know, are they hiring? Are you guys busy? Or like, what's your situation? All right, tell me. Well, what's the situation like at this company? Cool. And then if you guys are like let's say as an owner operator running sand or any other of these services, you're out here. You see all the truckers, so you just walk up every single fucking trucker you see. Hey, what's going on, man? Let me get your the op manager's number. What's going on? Can I get dispatcher's number? What's going on? Blah 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 blah. And then you're just networking. You're moving. And from there, and then it's a lot easier for you to be, already out here, like as a sand hauler or flatbedder or belly dump or a side dump guy. And then when you call these operation managers, you let them know, hey, what's going on, man? I'm working right now as a sand hauler for XYZ company. I talked to this driver on location. He gave me your contact information. I'm looking to go hop from the sand industry to the water hauling game because the reason I came out here was to be in water hauling, but I wasn't able to get my foot in the door, so I just started with sand. And I've been working for this amount of time for this company, and then I want to be able to work for you guys down the road. And then it's a lot easier to have credibility as a guy that's already out here running something in the oil field rather than a guy that's just coming from over the road or a guy doesn't know what he's doing. So that's owner opping. Now let's say you can't figure it out as an owner op, or let's say you can't you don't even have your shit set up. Well, the next step under that would be a company driver for some type of company out here. It's the same shit with a few different services. So, you have water hauling, sand, flatbed, winch, hydrovac, hot shot, belly dump, side dump, hot oiler. And it's the same shit. But instead of being an owner operator, it's a lot easier because you just call them and you're trying to be a company driver for their company. They bring you in, they train you up, they show you what needs done, and you're a company driver, and it's a lot easier to take the step from company driver to owner operator than not knowing anything, not knowing anyone to owner operator. You know what I mean? And it's the same shit with the sand, the flatbed, the winch, the height, like all these other services is the same shit as, what I talked about earlier. You track down the other truckers on location, hey, what's going on? Bing, bing, boom, get some numbers, make some phone calls, and just like that, you're an owner operator. Or at least, let's say you don't get a job as a water hauler, get a job as one of these other services. Well, you could then try to get the truck boss's number, and instead of being an owner operator first, you say, hey, let's check this out, man. Let me just be a company driver for you for X, Y, and Z company or for X, Y, and Z time. Let me earn my stripes. Eventually, I want to be an owner operator. And then that is the second step, or the next step under owner operating. And then let's say you can't become an owner operator, you can't figure that shit out. Let's say you can't figure out how to be a company driver. The next step under that would be working as field support. So there are a lot of other really high paying jobs here in the Bakken or just the oil field in general that you're not driving a truck, you're doing other like services for operations. So these jobs, they'll pay anywhere between like on the very, very low end, like 6 racks a month. There are some of these entry level jobs that are paying 10, 12, $15,000 a month because of all the hours you're getting and the rate that you're getting. So let's say you can't become an owner op, you can't become a company driver. Well, fuck it. Let's just be a field job. There's a lot of these. So you have, you can work on a workover rig, a frac crew, a coil crew, water transfer, you have pumping, you have roustabout, you have flowback, you have chems, you have drilling, you have pipe yard. Those are just some of the things that I was able to brainstorm real quick. I'm sure there's a lot of other services out here. But yeah, I mean, those are the main services that are like you're on location. A lot of these other services, like the things that you could do, are not going to put you where you want to be. So you get a job, it's the same shit. You're on location, whether frac crew, coal crew, blah blah blah. You're on location. You see trucks. You go talk to the truckers, and eventually, you're able to make some shit shake up. It's all about building your network, building your relationships, and making the phone calls and pound the pavement. It's really easy. And let's say you can't get an owner operating job, you can't get a company driver job, you can't find a way to get in the field. I'll tell you right now, dog, the fucking gas station. Get a job at a gas station out here. Get a job in Williston, get a job in Watford, get a job in Killdeer, get a job at the truck stops, get a job at the gas station, and they pay a lot of money. I mean, not a fuck ton, but 18, $20 an hour, and then you get overtime. I mean, I know guys that are making $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month at the gas station. Like literally, it's crazy. And from there, the reason I say the gas stations is because the gas stations are hubs. This is where everyone's coming to fuel up. This is where everyone's coming to get their energy drinks. This is where everyone's coming to get their food for the day. And you see people coming in and out all day. In and out all day. And if you're working the register, you see someone come up and they're working for, 90% of the time, it's someone in the oil field. You see someone come up, you see like they have their bibs or like a company logo or whatever it is, and you just let them know, like, hey, check, you just have a conversation with them, and then you let them know, hey, listen, man, I'm trying to get my foot in the door in the oil field. I came out here from this state to, chase my dreams or try to build a career right here. Is your company hiring? Or can you give me your operation manager's number? And they ain't gonna say no. You'll be like, fuck you. Yeah, here you go. Thank you very much. And then you just keep doing that. Keep doing that over time. Over time, they start to get to know you. The same guys are coming in. The same faces are coming in. You might be talking to a decision maker at that fucking register. And that guy might just be like, you know what, fuck it. Come through to my office. Come talk to me or submit an application. Blah, blah, blah. And then we'll get the ball rolling. So that's the guy. Like, that's the almost the last tier. So let's say you can't fucking get a job anywhere. Let's say, owner operating doesn't work, company driver, you can't figure that out. Field jobs, you can't figure that out. You can't even get a job at the gas station because you just don't, you're just not able to finesse enough. You're not able to talk your way into the situation. Now, what I would do is I would now get a list of all the all the companies talked about, owner operators, company drivers, all the field jobs. I'd make sure, first off, if I called them and they kind of give me the runaround, I would then get all the office addresses, fly out here. It'll cost you, I don't know, $500 for the flight, and then maybe like another $1,000 for the hotel for you to be here for 4 or 5 days. And I would spend those 4 or 5 days walking into every single office, every single office that I had addresses for and telling them, listen, man, like, I tried calling a few times, I really didn't get anywhere. From this state, I flew out here just to come talk to you guys because I want a job and I want a career here in the oil field. Is there anyone I could talk to? Like I said, I flew from a different state just to be able to come talk to you guys. Do that for every single fucking office out here. And I promise you, if you guys do all this shit, you'll get a job. You'll get a job. Like I said, the first step is just getting a job. 1 second. Hey, what's going on, sir? Yeah. Yeah, well, give me just a minute. I'll make sure to shoot you some more loads. All right, thank you, sir. Bye. Sorry about that. But yeah, there's no way that you won't get a job. Like I said, the first step is getting a job. Yeah, you can start as an owner operator, cool. But if you don't start as an owner operator, at least you can start at the very bottom and then work your way up. That's how I started. I didn't start in the game as an owner op. Started from the very bottom, and then I figured my way up. And that, so sometimes that's what you got to do in life. So I'm telling you guys, it's really not that difficult. It's really not that difficult. So yeah, if you follow this advice, you guys will get a job. It's that simple. All right. So good luck to you guys. Peace.